What's up, everybody, and welcome to Memory Lane, the show here on BoostPad that we like to talk about the games that have a giant effect on us throughout our life here. Now, the first game we're going to talk about is a very precious game to me. It is the Arkham franchise, known to be the best Batman games in the entire world. I claim it. Batman for me was a lot of things, a lot of really cool things, with the Dark Knight trilogy and the Arkham games being my introduction to the DC universe as it is completely together. And the weird thing was, it started with just another boring day where, you know, I was on my PS3 and there was nothing really new to play. I think I was playing Battlefield 3 at the time, and I was like, well, I'm kind of sick of it. I don't feel like shooting people. Basically, is the basic point. So I went to the PSN store on the PS3. Back then it took a long time to get into the store. A good minute. You're just sitting there waiting. You're like, oh my God, can this just load? And yeah, I went on the PSN store, and the demo. I went to the demos. I'm a cheap person. Don't like paying for my games too much. And yeah, I was at the demo, and I see this Arkham City for Batman, and I was like, Batman is a cool character. Back then, I was a Spider-Man kid all the way. Marvel was my cup of tea. And then I saw it, and I was like, you know what? I'll download it. I'll download it. What the heck? And my internet speed was not the entirely best. It took around like an hour or two for it to download. So I left. I think I went to go watch TV or on YouTube at the time, and eventually finished downloading. And I got to the PS3, and it was nothing that I've ever played before. The combat in this game was so freaking incredible that I was like, Batman is my new favorite character of all time now. You know why? Because he punches people in the face so hard, and then all this cool stuff, and that's not even including all the story that went into it. You know, the in the little demo, you had a 15-minute timer of the first mission in Arkham City. You're saving Catwoman. Spoilers: you save Catwoman, and you go through it, and it's awesome. You're punching people in the face. Villains are talking to you like, better, Batman, and they try to hit you with a bat. And you're like, nah, dude, I'll counter this with the triangle move. And you're like, bah, and you hit them right in the face. So it was pretty cool, you know. And from that point on, I was like, I need to play more of this game. The 15-minute timer ran out eventually, and all hell broke loose with all the trailer for the Game of the Year edition. And it showed Nightwing, Robin, Catwoman, and then all the Batman skins, the challenge maps. And once the trailer was over, I went to my dad and I was like, Dad, we need to go buy this game when it comes out. Of course, the game is already out, but I wanted the Game of the Year edition because I wanted to play as Robin and Nightwing and Catwoman and all this other stuff. So I eventually got it. I think it was like in a 2-week span. It was going to come out in 2 weeks. And I was falling in love with Batman. Batman was like, I had to do research. I was like, who is Batman? And I was a stupid kid back then because I didn't play a lot of games. And I looked him up, and he's this incredible character who's lost so much, and now he fights for justice and peace, and mostly justice, but mostly peace. That didn't make any sense, but it didn't matter. So what happened there was, in that 2-week span, The Dark Knight Rises was going to come out. Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight Rises. And I knew it was the third movie because, I was somewhat interacting with social media and stuff like that. I went to go see it with my dad, and I kid you not that at the end of the movie, I cried. I legitly was crying for a character that I barely had any attachment to, but at that moment I realized how much attached I feel to him. Spoilers, Dark Knight Rises, Batman is somewhat dead. Maybe he's not dead, maybe he is dead. I don't know. It's your way to interpret it. I think he sacrificed himself. Other people don't think that, but that's a very controversial thing for another time. So it was this giant. This demo was a giant leap for me in Batman in all the ways possible. Now I eventually played the game. We got to the game. It was amazing knowing that now I knew who Kevin Conroy was and Mark Hamill being Batman and the Joker. That was cool. All the villains were pretty cool. Killer Croc, Mr. Freeze, Raish. Amazing combat. The same combat. More upgrades to the combat. More gadgets to it. Even more Predator mode even. I forgot to mention that from the demo. There was Predator in that, and you felt like you were Batman. You were like sneaking around corners under the crates, and you're taking down guys. You're like, you feel so cool. And I was like, this is the second game? Oh my goodness. The second game? There's another game? So I went back, played Arkham Asylum. I think my little cousin Juan had it. He let me borrow it. I played it. It stood up. It was good at its time. There's some things that don't hold up, like the combat was a little non-refined, but the Predator was somewhat the same, limited options, and the art style of the menus was a little weird. But you know, you look past that stuff. You're like, yeah, well, it didn't really matter. So it was a 10 out of 10, in my opinion. It was a 10 out of 10. Arkham City and Arkham Asylum were clear game of the years for that type of not that type of game and games in general. So then the huge catastrophe or controversial catastrophe happened with Arkham Origins. That was my first Batman game at launch, like the real. It's kind of sad because it didn't hold up to Rocksteady's legacy. It somewhat did. I liked the story. I liked the combat. It was just a little off in some points, but again, gonna give it a benefit of the doubt. It was cool. I remember that was the first digital game I also bought, where I woke up in the middle of the night to download it, and then could not go to sleep, looking at this loading screen, not loading screen, the loading bar. You know how it says how many more hours are left. Literally sitting there for 6 hours, counting down from 6 to 5 to 4 to 3 to 2 to 1, and then it was like, oh my goodness, I'm playing the game. The worst part was I had to go to school like an hour after I got to play the game, so that was pretty disappointing, but still pretty cool. And now we're here at the point where Arkham Knight is out. You don't know how much I've been waiting for this game. You don't know how much I love this game. This is my first legit collector's edition for any game. The Batman statue is right here in front of me. When I got it in the mail, I was freaking out. Like, I was jumping in joy because of how much I love this game, and I couldn't wait for it. I still hold up the argument of well, it's maybe not an argument because it's my opinion, but this is the game of the generation. This is what I've been waiting. This is why I bought a PS4, to play this game. Again, other games are coming out, and I was playing those too. But this is the game where I was like, I need to buy the game. I need to buy the game. I need to buy the console for the game because it is so good. What else can you say? I mean, the Arkham series, you might or might not include Origins in there. I'm kind of in the middle, but then again, that's my opinion. They are responsible for me being a DC fanboy. They legitimately are. I love reading comic books about DC characters. I love reading about Batgirl. I love reading about Batman and the new takes on Batman and the old takes on Batman, like Frank Miller's. And Rocksteady is responsible for that. They're responsible for the creation of the Chris fanboy that everyone knows, that knows me, knows that I am. Maybe I could clarify that. So my family knows that I'm a giant Batman fan. Heck, when they give me a birthday present, they wrap it in Batman wrapping paper because they know it. My birthday was around a day ago, so I got all my Batman little bags that I could reuse to give other people presents. I'm getting sidetracked here, but the important thing was it was an honor to have the Rocksteady's Arkham franchise be my introduction to the DC universe. And I cannot thank them enough, and I literally don't know where I would be if it wasn't for them. I don't know. I'd probably be collecting Spider-Man comics by now, but it doesn't matter. Batman has my attention. He is my favorite superhero. They are my favorite games of all time. And that sums up my thoughts on the Arkham franchise. Now be sure to leave a like and share the video with your friends, and watch our other shows on YouTube/BoostPad. And until next time, thanks for watching.